I'm your host, Scholar. As you know, Oleology do not mix, but the abstract thought of putting two words together has enlightened me to create a channel to share different topics and different things with you, as I always love to do. And on this episode for today, what I want to talk about is never say never. And I'm bringing this point up because I remember years ago, I said I would never ever drink coffee. Coffee is like one of the nastiest things that you can drink. And what I figured out is one of the first things is one of my great uncles who I was very close to, and he was showing me a lot of things in life. He's now deceased and everything, but one thing my uncle that I learned from him is we were out eating breakfast one morning with him and my wife. We was out at a restaurant that one of his students owned that he had taught in school. And she had brought him coffee, and I watched my uncle pick up the cup of coffee, and he started to drink it. Now, he didn't put sugar, he didn't put cream in his coffee. He drank his coffee black, straight up. And so at that moment, I said, you know what? I said I would never try coffee, but let me give it a try. And I did that. I ordered a cup of coffee with him, and we shared a cup of coffee together, and we just sat there and we all talked, had a good time. And what I learned from that moment is that, for one, coffee isn't nasty. But what I realized is I don't like sugar or cream or any kind of sweetened thing in my coffee at all. And the reason why I don't like it because it takes away from the aroma and the flavor of the coffee. So from that point, I started to experiment with different types of coffee. As you see right now, I have some coffee here. But every morning I wake up, I have a cup of coffee. My uncle always said, instead of drinking something cold to get your bones moving, I like to drink something warm to kind of warm everything up. And that's kind of how that just stuck with me. And so as I began to try different blends, I started trying, just regular any blend of coffee I can find. Now I prefer the beans because I like to grind the beans and make that fresh cup of coffee when necessary. But what I learned from that is when you expand out and open your eyes and try something different, you'll be surprised at what you would like to learn. And so one of my aunts she gave me some kind of Puerto Rican blend coffee that she had gotten, and then she had let me try this Jamaican blend, which is called Blue Mountain. And Blue Mountain, it is a pretty expensive for a bag of coffee itself, but she just gave me just a little bit to taste. And so from that point, I just went to the store and I found other versions of the Blue Mountain, and that's what I have in this cup right here. And I really enjoy it. Now, indeed, if I go and get auto service at the dealership or something, I would drink what I would say bad break room coffee. And bad break room coffee is not so bad because it's free. But my preference, of course, is what I like to blend personally at home. I do French press it. So you should see the information right here about that. You should see the French press, as you can see right there. And then you'll also see the blend of coffee that I'm drinking here in the cup. Now, one thing that really makes me happy about it is that when you're drinking a really good cup of coffee, and say you're out and about somewhere, just the enjoyment of having a cup of coffee and having someone to sit there and talk and just have just a small morning conversation really makes your day a lot better, because you'll be surprised of what you learn from listening to people. And through that, from what I learned from my uncle in picking up a cup of coffee, and then right now, fast forward all these years later, I have met a lot of people just, going to get a cup of coffee at the coffee machine. and just sitting there talking to them, and you will learn so much. There's people I've learned who told me, hey, I never told anybody, but I'm in nursing school, or hey, I never told anybody, but I own my own business, and I'm just like, wow, this is amazing of being able to. There's something that people will always have in common, despite what their background is and despite where they're from. You learn a lot about people, and that right there stood out to me. And it's almost like, enjoying a great cup of coffee equals a great conversation. And from that point, I'll leave you with that. You don't like coffee, you never tried coffee, or you never tried something that you thought about, but you were scared to try it. Try it. See what it's like. And you'll be surprised of who you will run into. So I'll leave you with that tip. Once again, Orionology not mixed, but the abstract thought of being able to put two words together to create a channel where I can talk about diverse topics and diverse things. And I hope this information today helped you.